What's going on, YouTube? JT's Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about DC K.O. Knightfight issue number 1 of 4. This one's written by Joshua Williamson with artwork by Dan Mora, and this is another part of the DC K.O. event tie-ins. So in DC K.O. issue number 1, Batman Bruce Wayne was in essence just kind of like taken out early by the Joker. So we open up the issue, of course, with moments with him talking about the 4 main Robins. We have Damian in that suit, and we have Tim and Jason and all that stuff too. That's all fine and dandy. They very much are kind of like the Ninja Turtles and all that too. Like Dick is obviously like Leonardo, Jason is clearly Raphael, Tim is definitely Donatello, and Damian's kind of Michelangelo. Because, you know, in my opinion, he's the funniest of the bunch, but he still has kind of those tendencies a little bit of Jason in some ways, a little bit rebellious at times, and has a bit of can have a brutal nature, but he's definitely matured a little bit too in some regards. But yeah, so there's stuff like that going on in there too. But Dan Moore's artwork is spectacular. I just love the way this comic book looks. So, but Batman basically had some sort of contingency plan, because he always does if he was going to get wiped out. And then he kind of wakes up in the future in some ways. It kind of reminds me of that whole future state of Gotham with the way he looks and his suit design and all that too. It's a chance to get some creative looking bat suits in that. But then we see all these different Robins kind of showing up, like so many of them. He's getting chased down, and then he ends up facing off against a Batman that turns out to be Dick Grayson, who talks about how we took the whole Robin aspect and hero stuff and pushed it to a new level. There's even a cameo of Raven. There's like a Roy cameo, Starfire, Donna Troy, and Cyborg. Just little brief cameos. Dick Grayson is Batman in here. And like I said, the art style looks fantastic, but it's basically an excuse to kind of get Batman to face off against different versions of Batman, in this case, Dick Grayson Batman, because this is a fun way to kind of do it. But he talks about how Bruce is the reason like things were wrong. He could never just let it go. He always has to be Batman. And then we get the big reveal at the end where he's like, you killed them. You're the reason that Tim, Damian, and Jason are all dead. And you have to face off against that. So this could be an illusion, could be a lot of other things, but it is a fun little cliffhanger. And like I said, this just feels like an excuse to get him to fight other versions of Batman. So if you want to see that, then that'll be like the fun aspect to this thing. I mean, it's stuff we've seen before. Like we've seen Bruce fight alternate versions of these characters in the past, but it's done so in kind of a future state looking Gotham with some really good Dan Mora artwork. So that's a plus for me. So in terms of tie-ins, like I said, it's fun, simple, and it gets the ball rolling. So good stuff overall, I suppose. But anyways, that's all I really have to say about this particular issue of DC K.O. Knightfight number 1. I've been playing catch up on some comic books, and I should be all caught up now. So to me, that's a happy moment. So yeah. All right, well, that's all I have to say. What did you all think of this thing? Post your comments down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to your channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications, all that fun stuff. I will be back again tomorrow for a new comic book day, all caught up, and it feels pretty good. All right, well, that's all I have to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.